two fatal crashes of Boeing jetliners in 2018 and 2019, plus an incident earlier this year when a door plug detached midair from one of their planes, have now led congressional investigations of Boeing and its leadership. It's also led to allegations from whistleblowers about the company's safety oversight. And now CNN's Pete Montine sat down with the latest whistleblower for that whistleblower's first TV interview, alleging the company knowingly used defective parts in its planes. Here's his report.
If Everett, Washington is a Boeing company town, then Merle Meyers was a company man. A 30-year veteran of Boeing, Meyers says his job as a quality control manager put his kids through college. It's a family tradition. His late mother was a Boeing inspector, able to unilaterally decide if a new airplane just off the factory line was fit to fly.
What would she think about what is happening at Boeing?
She'd be absolutely livid.
Meyers' new allegations detail an elaborate, off-the-books practice centering on parts deemed not safe to put in new airplanes. He is the latest whistleblower to come forward with claims of quality control lapses at Boeing. This is his first TV interview, inspired by the January 5th door plug blowout on an Alaska Airlines 737 MAX 9. Spray-painted red, bad parts deemed not up to Boeing standards are taken from Boeing's Everett plant and sent to its scrap facility in Auburn. But then one day in 2015, Meyers says a crate of bad parts were improperly sent back from Auburn to Boeing's Everett factory. Meyers alleges the practice continued for years, tallying that more than 50,000 parts escaped Boeing quality control.
50,000 parts?
That's what we counted at the time.
It seems like a heck of a lot.
It's a heck of a lot indeed.
What does that say to you?
Well, that says it puts people's lives at risk, not just passengers, but flight crews. And a lot of these are flight critical parts that made it back into the production system.
Company emails show Meyers repeatedly flagged the issue to Boeing's corporate investigations team, pointing out what he says were repeat violations of Boeing safety rules. But Meyers insists investigators routinely failed to enforce those rules. In a 2022 email, he wrote that Boeing investigators ignored eyewitness observations and the hard work done to ensure the safety of future passengers and crew.
Why would they do this?
Schedule. It's scheduled.
To get planes out the door.
Mm-hmm.
To make money.
Yeah.
Meyers believes he was forced out of Boeing last year and is concerned there are still problems at the company.
Well, I think they need to punish, they need to fire people that blatantly violate the process and endanger the flying public. That's a huge problem. And a core requirement of a quality system is to keep bad parts and good parts apart.
In a statement, Boeing says it encourages employees to speak up and that to ensure the safety, quality, and conformance of our products, we investigate all allegations of improper behavior, such as unauthorized movement of parts or mishandling of documents. We then work diligently to address them and make improvements. Meyers says he is coming forward now because of the pride he has in Boeing. He goes so far as to call it a wonderful company. One, he says, has been going astray and is in desperate need of change.
But you have to care. Leadership has to care to do that. But if you can't even keep parts segregated from good parts, what else aren't you doing right?
Leadership has to care. Pete Montine joins me now. So Pete, what do we know about these 50,000 parts, often painted red, that are now apparently missing?
Jim, the mystery here is that we did not have an exact accounting of where these parts are. They range from the superficial, like fasteners, to the critical wing flaps used for landing. If these parts weren't returned to the scrapyard, or whistleblowers worry that they ended up on new planes, delivered to airlines, and other customers in the last decade or so. You might ask, how big a deal is that? Also hard to know, since we don't know exactly how or where they were used. But there is no question that these scrap parts should not have been put on planes. That's why our whistleblower spoke to me and our producer, Greg Wallace, about it. Greg's last day at CNN is Friday. He was the driving force behind this story. Countless others we have done together over the last 5 years. Greg, I thank you, and our viewers around the world do too. Jim.
Kind words to Greg. We thank him as well. Pete Montine, thanks for joining us tonight. Coming up, we have a live report on deteriorating